evening and welcome to the Darkmom Consortium for January the 11th, 2021. I'm Mom. Hi, how's everyone doing tonight? I am semi-recovered from my migraine this morning and from the fact that my car still isn't fixed, so nah. It's really weird. I didn't have anything planned for the day, so being sick most of the morning, having to borrow a car to get out for the rest of the afternoon, and not having a car for the rest of the evening is fine. It's not a big issue. Except as soon as you know you don't have a car, that really sucks. So I hope everyone's having a good evening today. I wanted to focus on getting that Gankra done because everybody loves doing Gankra, right? Yeah, no, nobody likes doing Gankra. But I think I'm by myself. Let's see. We're in We Are Live if anyone wants to join in. Once we get enough people on, we'll do Gankra Fed and Gankra KDF. And I will get the cables disconnected from around my feet. Slowly getting through all this stuff here. I know I've had this account for a long time, so I should have these all done. No, that hasn't happened that way. But it's getting there slowly but surely. This tune's also got to do some kinetic damage. We have a fleet mate who doesn't get a lot of opportunity to get his endeavors done, so Dante, or whichever incarnation of Dante, if you're on tonight, this is mostly for you so it can help you get your stuff done. But at the moment, it looks like it's just me and Boom's out there and Sav's out there, and that's it. It's a quiet night. Not much was happening. Lead into every bad porn story ever out there. But we are not calling the pizza place to get pizzas, so I'm not too worried about that. And let's see, let's send DT a quick message and see if he's around. Helps when my stuff is working. Skype, where's my Skype? There's my Skype. And let's see if he's going to join us at all tonight. In the meantime, let's see. This tune has to do kinetic damage in space. Oh, joy. I think my other tune just has Gankra left to do, so not much there either. Other things that are going on in the wonderful world of Momness is I love this ship. I really love this ship.
You know, I've been here for a while. It's just Discord wasn't working.
Oh, well, how surprising. Discord wasn't working. That's unusual.
Yeah, I had to restart it.
That hasn't happened since, like, today.
Yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah, Discord's been a little sucktastic lately. That's really interesting. Okay.
As I was saying, I was trying to figure out what character to play tonight.
Oh. Well, I wanted to do Gankra on a Fed and Gankra on a KDF, so other than that, I'm not super picky as to what's going on. I got a text from Ivo, Dante, saying he's having a rough time getting his endeavors completed. I presume because he does way too much stuff and he's got a lot going on in his life, so I'm hoping he joins us tonight.
I heard you earlier. It's just my voice the mic wasn't picking up anything.
Yeah. It happens that way.
Yeah. It's Discord. It's evil.
We'll blame Discord, yes, absolutely. So, Pi and I were on for about an hour and a half last night, grabbing ships and leveling them so I can slowly get all my ships leveled up, which has been fun. I don't have that luxury on this account. The only thing I've got to pick up is the winter ship. Oh, sorry, yeah, the winter ship, the one we just did. That one.
Figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the slow clap.
And as you probably also heard, my car is still 50 miles north of me.
Oh, that's going to be a hell of a bike ride in the winter.
Yeah, well, my son lives 400 feet away from me. So he's offered me his car. He doesn't work on Mondays and Tuesdays, but it doesn't look like it's going to get done for a couple of days. Which is one of those.
Did they tell you what broke?
No, they don't know yet. They think it might be something from a recall on the car. And if it's under the recall, then the repair shop didn't want to handle it because they wouldn't be reimbursed for it. So they said, well, hey, call the Ford dealer. It's a Ford. And so 4 hours later, it had gotten to the Ford dealer across the street. Well, it was one of those, you have to pay this bill off, but you can do it by phone, and it's only like $40. Okay, I did that. I made arrangements to get it towed over to the Ford dealer across the street. But it was just one of these, hold on, if I send it over there, am I going to be able to get all my stuff out of the car? No. So I had to drive up there to get all the things out of the car because I couldn't take them out when the car had the problem on the other night because everything closed at 8 o'clock and I didn't want to stand in front of a building with bags of dirty laundry. I couldn't think of anything that looked quite more homeless than that, except maybe a shopping cart filled with dirty laundry. So I left it in the car, drove back and got it today. Ooh, do I like a biofilter sweep, maybe? Is this a science tune? No, it's not. Okay, then we don't care. And how was your weekend? You said you were playing a different Star Trek game yesterday?
Yeah.
What were you
Star
playing?
Trek tabletop RPG.
Ooh. How was it? Were you having fun?
I had a little fun. Didn't really get into too much. We were just kind of setting up, trying to figure out who was going to end up being the captain.
Aha.
I was one of the few people who didn't want the job.
Been there, done that?
Been there, done that. Should have
I
put my name in
completely
the hat
understand
because the Gorn would have been more fun as a captain than half these people.
Gorn are always fun. Gorn are
Yeah,
delightful.
I'm playing a Gorn security officer.
Ooh, got some more stuff done. So Jens, bleh, mouth not working today. So
English, speak it.
yeah, no, not today. We were working on doing some accolades last night. And then realized, for a lot of the kill accolades, they're going to be almost impossible, short of repeated Sompex. And then
Salt vampires are impossible.
Salt vampires are in Sompec.
I know.
So that's
But
the...
never in an... Yeah, they don't count in simulation, though, I don't think. Because they do show up in the colony sims, too.
Oh, okay. Well, it might count.
I don't know if it does or not, to be honest.
Really? You'd think it would. If anybody knows the answer to that one, great. So I'm trying to keep up on keeping my accounts cleaned up here. So I don't have as much fun as I usually do with having way too much stuff.
We start with Fed or KDF today?
I'm good with going either way. I've got one set up on KDF and I've got one set up on Federation. Hi, Pi. How are you? Pi is doing his late shift, so he's at work, but I guess we get to at least see him a little bit in chat. So hi, Pi. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Tier 3 and Tier 2. Competitive stuff is so pointless. You can't, or nobody does competitive, so having all that stuff seems ridiculous. Satalia, how are you tonight? Does anybody know when Cryptic's going to get back to doing their live streams? They weren't on last week, I don't think. I'm curious if they're going to fix the fact that you cannot get some of the winter stuff anymore. there are some winter things I definitely want.
Oh, well, it always seems to be a few weeks later before they throw it back in.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's a few winter things. I know I've got the toys for it. So I have a daily bonus here. Do I have anything to get a daily bonus? No. But it's still sitting there. Yeah, let's take a look at that again. It's got a little eye by it. Maybe that says something. No, that doesn't help. So I haven't figured it out yet, but if you buy out the ship... is it worth buying out the ship to get the dilithium after that? If you do it on 20-hour cooldown?
Possibly.
Yeah, I have to look at it next time around.
It depends on really how much dilithium you need and things like that.
The way I burn through it, I need tons of dilithium.
Yeah.
So Talia, I don't know where you live, but I'm sorry you didn't get your snow last night. Were you expecting to get a lot or just a touch?
I'll be back in a moment.
Okie doke. Oh. It was snowing while I was driving back from wherever the heck I was, Lafayette today. Enough to be annoying, not enough to accumulate to anything, but it's gotten nasty cold today. So I guess it's a good thing I decided to take my parka instead of my pretty coats when I was driving last week. Wow, everybody's having crummy weather. No, not Lafayette, New Orleans. It was Lafayette, Indiana. We have a fleet mate who actually lives around there. We haven't seen him for a while, but if he was around, I'd love to run into you, since I'm now here all the time. Actually, there's a lot of players down here in Indiana, and as soon as I moved down here, they all went radio silent, since I think they were scared of me. Not that I can blame them, I am scary. Well, being that this is Indiana pie, it's probably pronounced Lafayette up here, because they don't say a lot of the names of places quite right. And then again, I'm from Illinois, where the name of the place, which in Egypt is pronounced Cairo, is pronounced Cairo. If we want to get really fancy, Cairo. Lots of bad pronunciations of places down here. I scared them out of the state, or more likely I just scared them off the game. You're today's Pog Champ? Is that what I'm reading there, Pi? Yes, yes indeed. What is a Pog Champ? By the way, nice to see everybody in the stream today. I've traveled around the world to meet people from the fleet, and then I never hear from them after that, so I guess I am scary. Though I've met DT and he's still around, so maybe not as scary as I think. Twitch removed the global emote PogChamp emote because the person made some questionable tweets. I give up. Seriously. People are stupid on occasion. Let's just admit everybody's going to be stupid at some time. They're going to make a mistake. Said the mom curse. Fear the mom. Oh well. Yep. People are stupid. Companies are stupid. It happens. So once DT gets back here, we're going to do Gankra because everybody loves Gankra. And we want to get it removed from our daily endeavors. So if anybody would like to join us, we're going to do both Federation and, I presume that's what you meant by, Federation and KDF. Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe it's the point that by the time I get to know people well enough, they're at that point where they're getting a little tired of the game, or a little burned out on the game, or real life is interfering with the game, and so they stop playing the game. Versus me, where I might get tired of the game, but that's never stopped me from playing it almost every day. Though I didn't do it this morning. I was sick enough to stay in bed, got up enough to email my boss and say I'm not coming in today. And a quick note to Ed to say I wasn't going to be streaming today, and then I actually went back to bed, which is not like me. So, since DT wasn't being really picky, who would like to do Gankra KDF? Pudding. Oh, Satalia. It's not rice pudding per se, but there is this Swedish and Danish recipe. Yes, I am feeling better. Thank you, Pie. Drugs help a lot. Also, sleeping till almost 11 in the morning helps a lot. Ris alamand, or in Swedish it's ris alla malta, which is rice, and you cook it like standard rice in water. Cup of long grain rice, 2 cups water. Cook it almost all the way, and then slowly add 5 cups of milk one at a time, like you're making... Oh, we're going to get to the whipped cream. It's like you're making a risotto, and you just keep cooking it till it's almost absorbed, and you add another cup of milk and another cup of milk and another, until you have 5 cups of milk in it. Then you add in a cup and a half of whipped cream, and you should add a little butter and a little sugar. And then the recipe I have calls for 1 or 2 oranges that have been turned into supremes, if you know what those are. Peel the orange with a knife so you've just got the fleshy part, and then you cut out the sections, and you have to cut into smaller pieces. It is so good. It's in Sweden it's a Christmas dessert, but it's about to become my regular breakfast as soon as I get a pan. I don't have a pan to cook things, so I have to cook when I'm back home. Let's see. Yep, that's what it looks like. And yes, you do put the almond in it. Ris almond. So good. But I did it without the chopped almonds. I just did it with oranges. But yes. Or in my case, you just eat it with oranges. It was very good, but I'll put cherry sauce over it next time. Oh my God, that was so good. Yum.
Okay.
We're talking dessert. Yes, whole milk. Full fat milk, as you funny people in Europe say. But you wouldn't believe that 1 cup of rice could actually absorb up 7 cups of liquid. But it can. And then butter. Yummy stuff. Pi just put a link up in Twitch. Yeah, I can grab it. Hey, WC. We're talking your favorite topic, WC. We're talking about food. Okay, I'm going to put it in the stream chat channel. That's the link there in Discord. Well, this is like a risotto, but sweet, WC. rice cooked in water, and then you slowly add cup after cup after cup after cup after cup of milk and butter and sugar. Then you make whipped cream, and you fold the whipped cream into the rice, and you can add a little bit more sugar at that point. It's pretty good without the whipped cream, but you add the whipped cream to it, and it's like, oh my God, so good. But we're not here to talk about dessert. We're here to play Gankra. Because, damn it, Gankra. So you back, DT?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear your breathing. My recipe has it cleverly named as rice porridge.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Might help if I take myself off mute one munching a cracker.
Multitasking means flooding subspace with chatter about recipes even while the enemy is attacking. Quite so. Quite so, yeah. You know, we see Picard up there, and he's doing things on his little armchair keypad thingy. And we think he's plotting out what his strategy is. Nope, sending recipes. That's the name of the game. So I'm going to do KDF first, DT. After I check my phone. Make sure that wasn't anything horrendous. And it wasn't. Delisi says, Spock to Admiral, if we go by the recipe, ounces would seem like pounds. Very good, sir. Very good indeed. You want me to fix the GoFundMe page? Yes, somebody's going to be singing Barbie Girl at the Fleet Party on January the 23rd. That is 12 days from today, a Saturday. We're going to be cleaning out the fleet prizes, and I will be singing Barbie Girl.
In Klingon.
In Klingon. Oh. Okay, hang on, Pi. I'll make a note. So with being stuck at home for 2 days, now 3 days, I actually finished up one of my classes online. I got some other stuff done, got a quilt started. I am making a rug. Okay, I'm going to show this to you. This is a rug. It will be eventually a larger rug to go by the front door. 5 guesses as to what it's made out of. Traditionally, this would be made out of old rags that have been cut into strips and sewn together.
People?
Pardon? People? No, that's Soylent Green. And it's definitely not Soylent Green. Yes, Barbie Girl in the original Klingon. January the 23rd. Okay, I'll do that next time, Pi. Since it makes an ungodly amount of rice porridge, but I'll eat it. Happily. Happily, happily. DT, shall I team you for a little KDF love here?
Sure.
Go. Okay, the next one will have to be a bubblegum in Klingon. That gives new meaning to the phrase K-pop, though, right? Candied prickly pears. I have never had candied prickly pears. That's a unique one for me. Would anyone else like to join us for a little KDF Gankra? And we'll do Federation after this. Please bear in mind, Pi, at the moment I have one pan that I can cook in, and it's about this deep, 8 inches in diameter. It is not going to make that. I have to get the good pan from the house. It's good enough for hard boiling some eggs. I'm getting good at cooking everything in one pan, but I did splurge yesterday, and bought a proper cake pan dish so I could make spanakopita. which was delicious, by the way. Anybody else? Okie doke, I will definitely try it. I think I have cinnamon. I don't remember life being this interesting when I first moved out of the house. I think I had a lot more cooking stuff than I have here. Alright, I think this one we just need to go there, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'll meet you over there.
I'm there already.
I'll be there in a moment. On my way. Yeah, mine is really, really good. WC.
Welcome to
I practiced a bit yesterday.
Well,
Oh, this is the wrong Gankra. This is... Oh, Gamma Quadrant. Oh, God, I'm so stupid. I said Gankra when I meant Gamma. But anyway, let's do Gankra.
Sure. I mean, we can do Gamma.
Let's do Gamma. I misspoke. I'm going to change the name of that. Hang on one second, though, DT, so I don't have to feel quite so stupid.
So it's Gamma in 60 seconds?
Yeah, it's Gamma in 60 seconds. Duh. Let's see, I need to get over to Twitch. Twitch, give me Twitch. Gamma in 60 seconds. Darn it, why do I always get those two confused? There we go. Gamma in 60 seconds. But I still have to go over there.
Yeah.
Klingon K-pop, but you see, it's redundant. Like K-pop is Korean pop, so K-pop should just be K-pop for Korean.
For Klingon pop.
Yeah.
Die, 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 die.
Alright, where the heck am I? Is there a shortcut over there?
No. We're on transwarp cooldown, so we kind of gotta fly there.
Yeah, it's just where is it?
Technically, we could pick up home and do it.
Okay.
Hurry. We won't. I don't have anything for you at the moment.
I mean, there's always shortcuts to things. It's
Of course
just...
there is. That's half the fun, is knowing where all the shortcuts are.
And Persa. Oh,
Okay, at home, I'm going to shortcut it.
I'm gonna head over to the red one first,
Good. Okay.
because those usually go faster.
Okay. Well, Pi, all those are great ideas, except we were both in cooldown because I stupidly said Gankra when I meant Gamma. Doi. Hey, Jason, how are you doing?
Since you're in charge, you'll have to get here and queue us.
Charge me. Loose phrase. I'm good, thank you very much. All things considered. I has clicked the little clicky thing. Hey, Swarm Not Wasted. Weeble?
A Herc dreadnought is being protected by circling Herc swarm. Be advised.
Evening.
Hello.
Evening.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I've just had a very strange and a positive, but a strange interaction in this game.
Oh.
A Herc
I
dreadnought is being
posted into the
protected. Be
trading
advised.
channel because I've been trying to get intelligence agent for a while. Keeping an eye on the exchange, and it's always no less than about 43, but usually in the 50s, like million. So I posted into the trading channel, like, anyone want to sell it for 35 million? And this guy goes, yeah, go on then, I'll sell it. And then I come to go and swap it with him, and he goes, knock 5 million off, you can have it for 30. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to argue. That's insane. I asked him why would you just randomly knock 5 million off it? He's just like, well, I thought it was too expensive as it was.
Wow.
I didn't have the heart to tell him, like, you do know they go for like 50 million, right?
Well, yeah, he probably does know.
I mean, and whoa, he's just sent me some keys as well. What the
Wow.
hell? I've just noticed in the mail. This is weird.
It is, but people do things.
There are some nice people out there, so
I mean, it's just so rare to find them.
It is. But sometimes,
Anyway.
sometimes not looking a gift horse in the mouth, I can say that word, yes.
So, do you still require some assistance with Gunkrell?
It's not Gonker, I meant to say Gamma. I'm just being stupid today.
Oh, even better. I don't mind giving you some help with that
Okay.
if you would like. I've got the same endeavour.
But yeah, we all
we all have the same endeavor.
We
It's
just did
universal.
the red one, but we're doing it on KDF. Do you have a KDF tune?
Yes.
And if not, we're going to switch over to Fed right after this.
I'll wait. I'm just trying to work out what's going on. What traits to drop. I'm now one trait away from having all of the traits to complete my build, and I think I can get it for 15 million if I'm lucky.
Which trade are you looking for?
Adaptive offense. So for 50, considering I've just got something for 15 million ticket price, I think I can stretch.
Give me 1 second. Going through the list of what's in the fleet bank.
Oh no, seriously, don't worry about it. I've got the money to be able to grab it.
I was going to
It's
say,
fine.
if you can't find it, I've got it.
I think that when I looked earlier, there were quite a few there.
All right, I'm going to queue us for green this time. Go, we will.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we had D-teamed, I had a TQS, but I transwarped us there. I slipstreamed there.
Pi, I believe we also have the Lucari ships available. We have one Lucari Nakam. We have two Lucari Nakams available.
So, have you two seen all the news that's going on lately about Klingon ships coming to Fed and Fed coming to Klingon?
Oh, yeah, with the crossover, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to do that and still monetize it.
That's an excellent question. I think that's one reason we haven't really heard anything much more than they're planning to do it.
My current theory is it'll be C-store only, and it'll cost 4,000 instead of 3,000 Zen. That's my theory.
You could be right.
So I was
Could be
thinking about it.
anything.
Well, yeah, you never know with it with cryptic, do you? But
But
I mean,
then again, if it's just C-store ships, it's going to probably be, and it's just you're going to buy them. They're just going to be account unlocked like the Romulan ships and things like that that you get out of there.
well, the reason why I was thinking they might do it like that is you guys will probably know this 1,000 times better from me, so just kind of bear with my probably flawed logic. Is the whole motivation from a financial point of view of having some of these arbitrary restrictions that requires you to have multiple characters is to increase the potential for multiple revenue streams on a given account. So by unlocking the ships to appear on every account, on every faction, they're robbing themselves of a revenue stream. That's a reasonably direct one. So that's why I'm thinking maybe they'll just go, oh yeah, but it's a C-store thing, or there's a way to earn it, or whatever, or something else is coming along. I don't know. It'd be interesting. All I know is for the first time since I started playing the game, there is light on the horizon. I can finally get a Vucha without having to regrind for the DPRM. It's going to be wonderful. Because it's one of my favourite ships.
Yeah, I need to pick up a DPRM for my Klingon right now, but that's...
I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, the only KDF character I've got 3 characters, but there's only one I actually use. I've got a Jebediah Vanguard one, I think, that I literally just used to unlock the account unlock on the Jebediah cruiser. And then I've got like a level 5 Romulan that I literally only used when I bought that starter pack to be able to unlock the Malum account-wide, so that I could get Withering Barrage for my cannon ships on the Fed character. But other than that, they just sit there, I don't even use them. I literally only log into them maybe once a month.
Oh, okay. Jason says maybe they're just being nice. No. I mean, they do nice things, but that would not be just because they're nice thing.
Is it just as a question, because I've noticed your chat sometimes appears different to mine. Is it a different channel you're using?
Well, we have the chat channel. Oh, do you mean in the game?
In the game, yeah.
Currently, I've got Strike Group channel on. I've got... that's a good question. I'll tell you which ones I've got on in just a moment.
Because there's loads of others that come up here, but I've no idea what they are. There's like loads of DPS one, there's Task Force Operation and Fleet.
Well, the DPS one you get invited to when you've had high enough DPS. So the channels I've got on this, I've got the local one, which is any local chat. We have an Armada one that we don't use very often. We have one called Fleet, that's a generic one from the game. One called Officer, which is again generic. Then there's DPS 10,000, 30,000, Bronze, Silver. We have Speed Event that I use a lot, and Strike Group. But on
so who invites you to the DPS ones?
You get invited to it if you are parsed at certain levels.
By whom, though?
The amorphous them. Somebody sends off the data to them saying, hey, this person did this. And if they see that you've done, let's say, 50,000, you will get an invite to that channel. I've been invited to them, and I've never known anybody who's invited me.
So I've got 10, 30, 75, bronze, diamond, gold, and silver.
Yeah, okay. Swear says I got auto-invited, so auto-invited it is. Romulans are awesome. The devs have repeatedly said that KDF ships don't sell even close to as much as Fed and Z-Store. It's because they don't have so many cool ships in there.
Then if you think about it, then maybe that's why it'll be a C-Store thing, because they're increasing their potential market size.
Oh yeah, could well be it.
It could literally just be as simple as that.
DT, I'm on my way up there.
Okay.
It amazes me though sometimes, this game. The amount of times I'm just like, I didn't even know that was there, or I've never been there, or I've not done this, or what does that button do? Like, it's insane.
I don't know if the team invite worked for you.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good.
I'm on my way.
Because I got there, so I figured I'd team invite you and see if that'd work.
I'll be there in a few moments.
You know what would be actually perfect? This fella's just given me those three or four keys, or however many it is. It would be absolutely insane if I opened 3 or 4 infinity boxes and got even one ship as a result. That would turn it from being slightly generous to being the most generous thing to have happened in the game ever.
Yes.
Some people who do streaming have gotten the R&D have been given R&D ships by people, so yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. Like quite often, you see like on some of Augie's streams or on some of the Timberwolf ones or some of the other ones. It's just like, yeah, this random person gave me a 1.5 billion credit ship.
Oh, they're close to 2 now for a lot of them.
Well, at one point when the Styx Dreadnought first came out, we had one player in the fleet who kept getting them. He had like 3 of them, 4 of them, and he donated them to the fleet. I had QDT, but it didn't pop up. Let's try that again.
Nice.
Oh, DT, you have to queue us. Because you...
Yeah, I bought them.
Wee woo. Jason says I got a T6 on the second lockbox I ever opened. Have you gotten one since?
Is it even possible at this point? Aren't the odds so unbelievably bad that it's...
Oh, no. Yeah, not at all.
The odds are still terrible, but you do get stuff. I got a Kelvin Constitution Alpha lockbox once. Before there were legendary ships.
I'm just trying to work out what space trait to drop. Is it point-blank shot that everybody drops, or self-modulating fire?
Depends.
Long-range sensors
I
have
dropped
detected
point
a
blank
map.
myself, but I can't speak for anybody else. I didn't like it.
So I'm just looking, because I see some builds will have superior beam, but then they'll drop beam barrage, which is like a 2% stacking for up to 3, which would make sense to drop it because it's not a guarantee. But then there's point blank and self-modulating. A lot of people tell me to drop bulkhead technician for some reason, but I'm like, it's 10% whole hit points. That's quite a lot.
It is, but it also depends on what the structure is of your ship. I mean, if it's redundant, it's when you drop. But it's nice if you've got an even semi-squishy ship.
I mean, I'm just looking at the Earth Space Dock, and I've got 124, 823 hull, so let's drop it and see what happens. That also equates to 5.2 on tilers. Let's drop it. 124 drops to 118, so I'll lose 6,000 hull.
But if nothing's really scratching anyway, what?
Yeah.
And then 0.2 crit chance.
Mar Hoffman says if you want max DPS, drop all the defense traits.
Yeah, I've read that. I'm not overly keen on the premise of making the ships so unbelievably squishy that even a glass cannon looks like a tank compared to it.
I'm kind of glass cannonish, but I'm using a big cruiser and it works very well, so...
Yeah.
Swear I'm not wasted. The odds are definitely in your favor for Phoenix, but the problem is that Phoenix boxes don't have the school of ships at some point. It's greater if you're a new player who hadn't have access to all those ships throughout the game over the years.
But the other problem is those ships, unlike us.
My gut feeling right now is to drop either beam barrage or point blank. But I'm kind of thinking beam barrage, because point blank is 0 to 10% bonus, which usually means it's a Cat 2 damage based on distance. So it's basically either up to plus 10 damage it's Cat 2 compared to 2%, 6% beam.
I mean, you do have the option of drop one run, do a test run, see if it makes a good change. If it doesn't, switch it back.
Yeah. That's flawless logic, I'll give you that. I'm gonna make a note.
Which is why some mornings I will just be sitting there running the same mission over and over, the same code over and over and over. With just slightly different variations on setting. I have to say, I don't remember if there's a reason that we do this one. We just shoot things.
We're defending stations, basically, so... Yeah.
So shoot things. I've had a couple of endeavors lately where I needed to hull heals, and my hull has been so darn strong, even with shields, I'm taking no damage whatsoever.
Appreciable damage, yeah.
And eventually just give up on that as needed to pull something else.
We only have a minute left!
The game's doing that really annoying thing where you slot a trait and it goes, you don't actually have this trait, and you have to change the map.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it doesn't seem as buggy as when I first started playing it, but still, Christ almighty. Hire an intern, make a list of the bloody bugs, and start knocking them out. You get some spotty-nosed little college guy, you know, who's a developer to do it, he'll have them knocked out in about 6 weeks just to prove his worth.
Absolutely.
The Herc waves have stopped.
That should be all three for you.
Forces will clean up any
That was all
stragglers
3 for
below.
me.
Right, so sorted.
I still gotta pick up a DPRM for this character.
Is that your KDF one?
Yeah.
Ooh, dilithium. Woo. Oh, and unfortunately I'm up to my 15 million cap, so... Oh well. I'd have to start new tunes just so I can access their banks.
Of course.
Alright, I'm going to switch over to Federation in just a moment. I'd be happy to join you, KDF or Federation for the ISA.
Fed.
Okay, give me 1 second here and then I'll switch over to...
I'm headed back to Kronos and I'll switch over to a Fed.
But I'm literally using it to benchmark what this intelligent agent attaché does, because I'm reading it and apparently it reduces the recharge time on my captain abilities, which I'm guessing is mainly my power transfer ones and Nadion bursts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Captain abilities are like engineering team, tactical team.
EPS power transfer, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Intrusive energy redirection, and I'm hoping also Nadion inversion and focus frenzy. See, on the bright side, one of our offices had a Microsoft Surface Book 2 with the GPU dock on it, just sat on a shelf apparently for the last year. So I had them ship it to me so I could just test it out. Run Star Trek Online flawlessly. So as and when the world opens up and I'm travelling again, I'll be able to play it while I'm sat in the hotel.
Nice.
Yeah. Next point I gotta do is I gotta go find something so I can copy it. I gotta get a SSD big enough for this laptop, transfer everything from the hard drive to the SSD, make the laptop faster.
Once you got mechanical in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've bought, including at work, I don't think I've bought a mechanical drive in years, other than for some of the storage arrays at work and some of the clusters.
I do storage on my desktop with mechanical, but on those laptops, I mean, they're fast, but I look at my new rig versus the old one, which is running mechanical, and it's sort of like the speed's so different. It's like I have to play.
Yeah.
Alrighty. DT,
Alrighty.
are you on your account that you want?
Yep.
You want to act when you're ready and I'll invite you to team?
Okay. I'll do it that way then. There you go. Mar Hawkman, it's an 8-piece door that slides open, but one part turns sideways while turning into the door frame. That's interesting.
Okay. Do you want me to start queuing, or do you need a minute or two?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'd been running the ship last night to get stuff done. Wee woo.
We
Well, how's your Romulan ship going? Do we need to do more on that this week?
Oh, we definitely need to work on that this week. I was thinking might do
Okay.
that tomorrow night
I don't he's like two tapping with that.
or Thursday. Or if I get stuck here, maybe Friday or Saturday.
Did you recover your car?
My car is still up there. It's more effed up than I thought, so it's now at the dealership, but it took all day to get it moved across the street from the repair shop to the dealership.
Right.
So I have the son's car for the moment, but he works
Don't do
literally
that.
around the corner. It's a walking distance for him.
Situation is grim.
So he's
Not
more
too
than
bad,
willing to
then.
let me borrow his car temporarily, because it used to be my car.
Oh, what sort of Ford did you have, by the way, since you said it was going to a Ford dealer?
It's a Ford Fusion.
Ah,
It's
yeah,
not
they don't make car. Ford's not really making anything besides Mustangs and SUVs and trucks now.
They still make the Fusion.
I think they stopped.
If they did, they just stopped because it was.
Yeah, it was just like within the last year or so that they
Yeah,
stopped.
they had a 2020 for sure.
How come you lot are so much further ahead in the map than I am? I'm like way behind both of you.
I don't know. I think it's random.
And I think we also sometimes get shoved by bigger ships.
Yeah, it could be.
Gun. Additional data is available.
Oh, okay. Pass might be a little bit cut off.
I'll stay down here and do patrol. Nanoprobes.
The nanite probes can repair the transmitters. Stop them.
Your defensive capabilities are unable to withstand us. Follow your shoots and await assimilation.
Oh, you know it's a good day when the tactical cubes are still covered by the broken remains of the original cubes.
That's probably one of my best flying runs I've ever done.
See, that did feel like a good run, but I was a bit annoyed that I got halfway through taking out the first cube before I was like, oh bugger, I forgot to set the pass off. So I don't know how accurate this is going to be.
Well,
Don't know.
Let's have a look.
Well, numbers will be a little bit down, but
Yeah, 163. I'll just post it, it'll be easy. Results.
that was a quick one, yes.
I've got a funny feeling that it might have been about 10 or 15k higher for the lot of us.
Oof, I hope so.
Interesting, yeah. It's interesting how. I mean, it's one of those, you know, not really the job for Sherlock Holmes, shall we say, when you go, it's interesting to see how my
163
powers
is
are.
actually, that's one to freaking turn in. I don't get how it's. That's one of my best runs in a long time.
Let's do an analysis report on you. Let's have a look.
That's one of these things that should be submitted because I've been trying to break 150 for a while.
Well, you broke 150.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, I'll submit it for you.
Thank you.
I can work out / remember how.
I
Combat, I'm guessing. Combat does not
Yeah.
meet the requirements for the current DPS League ISA records. Error cryptic servers have screwed up your map. Complain to them. That's a hell of an error, isn't it? Upload? No. Yeah, it just keeps erroring.
Hmm.
That's annoying. Well, I've got the text file for it if you would like me to send it over.
Yeah, that's why not.
Just give me a moment, there's a couple of runs in it, so let me just remove all the old stuff.
Yeah.
I did that the other day when that German fella sent me my DPS record because I forgot about it, and I spent about 10 minutes clearing up the log file because he had about 30 runs in the thing. What's it got?
Security team, report to Club 47.
What's the date? The 12th.
11th. Oh, hold on. Yeah, for you, 12th.
Actually, you could actually be right because the time on my computer is currently wrong. It goes all screwy when I've had the computer in Linux mode all day. It messes with the clock and I've never bothered fixing it.
I think it's like 2 a.m. your time.
So I'm just looking for...
Oh, hold on. You're in Atlanta. What the heck am I saying? It's the
Yeah,
11th.
my clock's just a bit screwy right now.
It's the 11th. I was still thinking you were over in Europe.
Yeah, I think... Just clearing the old log entries now.
If you'll excuse me for a moment, I'll be right back.
Okay.
The shuttle to Saturn will leave at 0830 hours.
I would imagine as well, considering the first couple of seconds of the run were kind of gone.
That might be a problem, but that wouldn't even be too bad because, well, didn't blow up a ship at that point. Or already blew up a ship at that point.
Well, I was mainly thinking, there we go, got it. I was mainly thinking for yours. I mean, if that 163.36 is your record, then
Yeah.
you could probably consider it to be a little bit higher, actually. Because
Yeah.
obviously I missed a second, especially because you were like probably a good half a second in front of me, even without me forgetting to do the thing.
Yeah.
Gonna put it on my next cloud and I'll send you the link. DT combat log. Create link. Okay. Send it on Discord. Congratulations, you're the first person to use my personal Nextcloud for other than me.
So,
And I'm back.
Awesome.
And it got very quiet there.
There's a reasonable variety of ships around Space Dock for a change. It's usually everybody in Vengeance's big galaxy thing with a big gun on it and other stuff. That's why I quite like going around Nimbus. You get more of a variety of ships, shall we say.
True, true. Should go check to see what I've got for ships I haven't leveled on this.
If the download link doesn't work, let me know and I'll put it somewhere else for
I
you.
got it. I'm just.
Oh, okay.
Transporter technician to Route 46. The counseling staff is hosting an open house at
Do we know what they're doing for the anniversary thing yet?
No, unless somebody's heard something I have not.
I haven't heard much of anything. There will probably, of course, be the next episodes in Year of the Klingon,
Mm-hmm.
possibly wrapping that up.
Maybe they'll do something around, specifically to do with these, cross-faction ships for the anniversary.
It could be.
Kind of.
They did the Kittimer Alliance. Was that last year's anniversary ship?
Yep.
Okay, so they could well be on that way. But I don't think they're going to wrap up Year of the Klingon because it hasn't been a year yet, has it?
They've barely done anything for it, have they? Other than. Yeah, I don't think they've done anything major for it. Because I know there's a lot of people on Reddit. Well, obviously people on Reddit always bloody moan, but. There's there's a lot of people who are just like, yeah, they've done nothing other than skin a few ships and trim some of the missions down.
Yeah, for some reason the log won't upload, but still.
I mean, if you want, when these timers done in 20 minutes, if you want, we can do another run and I'll do it properly this time.
Okay.
See if this keeps up. I don't know if I'll ever fly that well again. It's like boom, boom. Okay, everything's gathered there. Jump over quick.
The only comments about the 11th anniversary event is there's an anniversary ship, but I don't see any detailed information on it. And the Fakiri content remaster, but I don't know that that's going to happen.
I know. What's the YouTube fella who does all the PowerPoint slides? Is it Counter YOLO or something like that?
I don't know.
I think he's theorized something for the. So if we got the Kittimer battle cruiser, he's theorizing that based on the cadence that we're seeing with the Ryzen stuff, which was here's a cruiser, now here's a science ship, now here's an escort. He's theorizing that the next Alliance ship will probably be either an escort or a science ship along the same sort of veins where it's like, looks half Federation and half Klingon sort of thing. Which I think that could be
Romulan
interesting.
influence, because that battle cruiser definitely has got the kind of Romulan wingish.
Well, Eris Gardens is saying something that it should be a Romulan hybrid, so I can see it. The argument is decent.
Well, then that's the advantage that they had with the Alliance, with the Kittimer cruiser. If you think about it, it's half Federation and it's half D7 or D12 or whatever, which is actually a Klingon and a Romulan ship anyway.
Yeah. No,
so it's a good starting point for them, I suppose.
It is. I don't disagree with that. And if they're going to stick with this concept of an alliance with Romulans, Klingons, and Federation, then they might stay with that. But if they don't, that might also indicate story arc changes.
Yeah. I think they're going to have to do some sort of story arc change, though, aren't they?
With the wall coming down, with the wall for ships coming down, it's got to be story changes.
Yeah. Well, that would be a good wrap up for Year of the Klingon. But since we've still got some time for that to happen, they could do. Well, let's see. Story wise, obviously there's at least one more.
I keep expecting, I
Two
keep
more
wanting to,
stories.
keep hoping and wanting to hear an announcement for legendary Klingon ships.
Watch
we're-
Party Pie would be a great idea, but I think everybody has to be on Amazon Prime to join in. Because I think Duffy was trying it the other night. But yeah, that'd be fun. There's a few things I'd like to do on Watch Party. Would you gentlemen like me to send you an invitation to Gamma for Federation?
Yeah, might as well.
Sure.
I've still got the Endeavour to do and waste a bit of time before we can rerun ISA again.
Exactly.
Yep.
Anybody out there want to join us for Gamma Federation? Yeah, I used mine. I sent you an invitation, boom.
Yeah, just got it.
Oh. Swear, what is your handle in game so I can send you an invite?
I did not know that in the traits screen you can reorganize the traits on the left by dragging.
I didn't know that either.
I don't see what purpose that serves, but you can do it.
See if that works. Alrighty, and Mark B, inviting you. Alright, we got a full team here. Everybody has to get yourself over there. Sorry about that.
I am here, but you're the only one who can really cue us, so.
I'm on my way.
Is Gamma one of the ones that bugs out from solar system? Oh, sorry, I've just selected Gongra.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Pick up the home mission. That'll transwarp you out there.
Oh, shoot. Is there a shortcut? I don't have it as a transwarp.
Pick up home.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else. Okay, my bad.
Give me a second. I'm just leaving Gongra. Which arc is home in?
Gamma.
Gamma. Last mission in Gamma.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just transwarping now.
When you get in, Mom, try to head to the red ones first. That queue that fills up the quickest.
Okie doke. I say mad? I was born mad. But crazy mad, not angry mad.
Are you going anywhere, or are you just doing the loops right now?
Say that again?
I'm following DT around right now, so I don't know where we're going.
We're going to go to the red quadrant. So if you hit M on the map, or fourth map rather, it should be the top center.
Okay, yeah.
Once we're there, everybody's there. I'll queue us up.
Well, yeah, I'm here now.
Okay.
I think once you're there, you should be able to queue us, but...
Yep.
We will? Oh, we're
We will.
still waiting on Kirk and Mark.
Would it not just drop them in?
Should, but I
Okay,
don't know.
We'll
Our
find
team
out
will
in a
find
moment.
out.
I just accepted.
Yeah, me too.
Same here.
Mark, what were you asking me before?
Oh, it was about that ship device.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just trying to remember then. It's like, is there something as we're on a voice chat, is it something I need to...
I was struggling for speed boost, wasn't there? So that device will come in handy, I think.
Yes.
It's a consumable, but you can craft 5 in like 5 minutes. So with just one slot. So you can craft loads just within 5 minutes. It's not a problem.
What do we do for this one?
Blow up the ship.
Is this the blow up the ship one?
This is blow up the hive. This
Yeah,
is blow up the
pretty
ship.
straightforward. Then there's 2 blow up the hive ones. This one is
Yeah,
just shoot the hive.
this one's just shoot it to death.
It's just when you see the black hole in this, you're just like, oh god, it's gravity kill.
No. This is just shoot the hive.
I don't think I've ever actually managed to do most of these gamma ones.
I did them all today pretty quick and on the ship.
And of course I timed out.
And another one bites the dust.
Well, that one seemed easy.
Next we should go back to where I would probably just say hit the start for home again so we can get the green real fast because I was right there. Blue goes the slowest.
So we're going green now?
Yeah. Which means we can probably, if we're on the same map, just...
But we're not
we
teamed
gotta
yet.
reteam,
We're
of
not
course.
teamed
We
yet.
gotta reteam, yeah.
One sec. Mark B, I don't have you as a friend. Can you give me an X in chat?
Yeah.
Someone anecdotally say a while ago that if you go to a really obscure area of the map at like 3 in the morning and
Yep.
then open the lockbox, that you might have a chance of getting a slightly
I've been
better.
told that by a bunch of people. And also if you go just a few minutes before the top of the hour.
I wonder why that is.
Theoretically, if it's a randomizer and it does X amount on a 60-minute clock, would be anything that hasn't been allocated in that 60-minute period gets thrown back into the pool in the next few minutes. So there's more stuff there, but I don't know if that's true or if it's just happens that way. But yeah, I've been up at 2 in the morning in the middle of no place and had better luck than like at ESD, but not consistent.
The Herc are swarming the debris in this sector to
Okay,
gather
in this one, go
resources.
to an asteroid, fire at the asteroid, it's going to release 3 crystals, pick them up, go to the hive, and it's going to give you a...
Get as close to the hive as you can, by the way, to cut down the time, and because the swarmers around there can intercept it.
But it will set it as a specific item on your tray
Yep.
to launch. Mine defaults to the number 9 position.
That is
Oh no, that's going to work for me.
It'll override something else that's already on your screen. Because anything else you fire doesn't work. Or doesn't work effectively. Somebody's stealing crystals. Oh dear.
I stole mine, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go get some more.
I bet blew up the asteroid just as well. moving so fast. Ah. So this time, instead of putting it on my basic pad, it just gave me a separate figure, separate icon for just a
There's always a separate Minds on 8 and the separate icons, so...
Oh yeah, I can see where it's overlapping my interface, and then it's just decided to drop some of them.
What, we get a total of 3?
Yep.
Close to the
The only reason, like I said, is just so you don't have to worry about swarmers doing intercepts and things like that.
This only fails when people forget to go pick up these. They think we can just fire the thing.
Under attack.
I've just X'd, so it's easier to re-invite.
Oh, I was picking up
Oh.
everybody from this anyway, so...
Oh, okay. It's a bit silly that it knocks you out of the team each time. Most games will only knock you out of the team when you leave the team or you get voted out of the team. Right, where are we going now? The
We're going to
purple
red
one?
this time.
Blue Planetary Assault, I
Excuse me,
believe.
blue. Colors are things. Why the heck does this not like me today?
It's not, that's quite novel. Apparently the next reward thing, we get $1,800 dilithium and 100 marks. It's not bad.
At a 450, I'm now at rank 433, Mom.
That's right. Yeah, tell me how good you're doing on that one.
There's a reason why I'm curious now. I'm wondering what happens after I get all that filled up.
That's a good question. Somebody had an answer. It might have been Sav.
You probably just get more stuff.
Yep, more stuff.
I'm only a couple days behind a lot of people, but
I think at 360.
What's this on? Your endeavours?
Yes.
yeah.
I think I'm on 167, but I've been lucky that I've got all the good space ones already maxed out. But I've put nothing in ground.
I focused on
The
ground.
Herc are invading all across the quadrant.
Yes. Be there in a moment.
We're waiting on you.
I know.
I do like the detail on that sovereign of yours. Just looks very crisp.
Yeah.
We will.
We will.
Yeah, we were.
Okay.
It's not quite as much forward firepower as the Gagarin, but
Long-range
still, it's
sensors have
more
detected a
it's
massive
nice.
swarm of Herc ships.
What do we do for this one? Just blow
Defend
stuff
the
up?
bases.
Defend the base, so just blow so just stand near one of the pick one of the habitats, be near it, and
Shoot it.
yeah.
Okay. I'll go to Alpha then, as it's the nearest to me.
Mhm.
I'm nearest to Gamma, so I'll go to
I'm
Gamma.
closest to Gamma too.
According to this, you guys are like 100 odd kilometers away in the game.
Yeah, you guys are way over there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Here.
I'll head over to Beta then, since...
This is a nice option if you need to do swarmers for an endeavor, except it never fills. So it takes forever to fill it. You work faster than doing it.
I think I always end up you doing that Gamma TFO for it.
Which one?
It's the one where you've got the 3 lanes and Odo's giving you the wrong directions
Swarm.
each time.
Yeah, swarm. Yeah, Odo's good at that. Neelix is better though. At telling you where not to go. It's not that he's a bad officer, he was written.
Yes, I've been an officer. Makes the bestest of the best. If you're taking this from the best, you're always in trouble.
A Hurt capital ship has joined the fight. Destroy it!
Leaving Beta for a minute to go do the capital ship.
Well, I'd join you, but it's going to be gone well before I ever get there.
Done.
I rest my case.
We only have a minute left!
That's the 3.
Yep.
Isn't there a final one to it?
Yeah, there's a final battle.
That's not bad. Got 400,000 for that.
Let's see what I got.
Do we want to have a crack at ISA then before I jump off? Let's see if we can.
Absolutely.
Let's see if we can get that. Let's see if we can get that record for you again, DC.
Like I said, I don't think I don't fly that well very often. Usually because I tend to keep moving. Things don't usually work out being in that great a position, but we'll see what happens.
Mark, you joining us?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's everyone, I think. Alright, let's queue.
Thank you, Frost. Weeboo.
Okay.
I do have to admit, though,
The situation is
I do
grim.
like how my
All
ship
attempts-
does run very well at times.
Well, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, which is going to
Okay.
be focus on just maintaining the nanites, so you can attempt to recreate what you did.
Bloody hell, you would have to call it the USS Salford, wouldn't you, Mark?
Have you seen my registry number as well?
I haven't yet, no. What have you got it down as, like the postcode or something?
NCC 161.
Jesus Christ. Christ, you can take the man out of Manchester, can't you?
Little people.
Scanning the nanite trap. Gun. Installation. The nanite drones can repair the trench. Stop them. Probe is closing in on the trench. Destroy it. The probe is closing in on the trench.
Very weird.
Destroy it.
No one generates it with keep his going.
Poor generator just sitting there. Oh, no, it's missing.
Usually they blow up when we get the transformer.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Okay, despite that blip, that felt like an okay run. So let's have a look.
Yeah.
Analysing now. Oh. Not so much.
Yeah, it was quite poor, I think, for me.
Oh, well.
Yeah, because like I said, that one generator didn't blow, and that just kind of threw us off.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think that's, who was it who was talking to that about the other day? Yeah, I think it was you actually, wasn't it, Mark? Where it's like if you don't manage to get things in a certain order within good time, it kills your DPS, and because the clue is literally in the name, damage per second. So every second you're not blowing something up. Well,
Yeah, I mean, if the last generator did like it normally does, blow with the freaking transformer, it would have been a good run.
yeah.
after the second big generator was destroyed, I spun round to go to the main generator, and it just wasn't unlocked because there was I think there was a couple of spheres left in that one transformer, whatever it was.
Strange part is, though, until that point, I flew that just as well as the first one. I'm getting better at this. And stuff blowing up and having yourself in the right positions to swing back around is definitely a key in this thing. I've learned.
It makes me feel better.
So Mark, you've literally got your registry as 0161.
Yeah.
You weren't joking.
Oh.
Jesus.
Hey Mom, do you want to take for a final assault, or do you?
No, I wasn't going to bother with final assault if you don't mind.
No.
I've never actually done final assault, so if you want to give it, if you're looking for someone to give you a crack with it, I'll have a go.
All right.
Okay, well, I can jump it.
There we go.
If you're wanting some help, I can jump. Okay, I wasn't doing anything. I said, if you're needing some help, I'm happy to jump in and help out.
You're more than welcome to join us.
We're doing this for fun. We're not even doing it for hell.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite Mark as well, and Frost.
Okay.
I'm logging in right now, so give me a second.
You have 6 minutes, so.
Is it 6 minutes to actually do a run at it, or 6 minutes to complete
minutes is
it?
left.
6 minutes to queue. It's a timed. The
Oh,
last
okay.
one's timed.
So it's not like if you joined it after, after 10 seconds, it'd go, right, you've got 10 seconds to complete it.
No.
Good.
Are you KDF or Federation?
Fed.
Okay. Just want to know who I'm grabbing.
I mean, it's actually pretty depressing that I'm still asking these sort of
You're
questions.
already on a team. I can't invite you.
I'm not.
Check your privates.
That's rather personal.
I don't think you can do that on the stream.
No,
It's a
I'm
family
not.
stream.
If you look here, I've got it up. There's nothing there. Let's see what's happening over there in Jane. I shouldn't be on a team.
So you haven't accepted the invitations.
She doesn't think you're cool enough.
There should be an open slot left.
There should be. We're waiting on Frost.
I'm at 98%. There, I'm in now. Do.
I'll let you know what the play is here.
Yeah,
Oh crap! It's doing stuff.
We will.
Hold on just a second. I'm loading up PS9.
So is this just another blow everything up one?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm good at those ones. It's just every other one I'm not.
I think you're too hard on yourself, man. Come on, freaking load, man. It's at 99.90 right now, and it won't load. There we go. Now I got Wee Wood in.
Okay.
Right.
There we go. Yeah, I can turn him down. Post.
Am I too loud?
Yeah, I'll turn you down from here. It's too loud in Twitch.
You're loud and annoying. Congratulations.
How's that, Pi?
I learned from the best.
Bad news. The swarm is assaulting Impersa, the homeworld of the Founders.
Grab the asteroid.
Do what you can to prevent planetary landings and create an opening to make bombing runs
Do you
on
have
the
to blow up the
mothership.
asteroids on this one and drag it like the,
Don't
like the
think
other?
so. I think
No
we just,
dragging. I think we just clear a path, blow
Yeah.
everything in.
yeah, I checked. It doesn't say anything about blowing up the asteroids per se.
I mean, they're in the
Bad
way.
news. The swarm is assaulting. Do what you can.
Just kill everything.
Nice
We'll
murder.
do what we do most nights then, right? Paul's got the asteroid crystals there, so maybe we need to put a hive again.
Possibly so. I'll do.
So if you've got Domino, this would be a great time to pop it, because there's enough things there that you could extend it out for the full 30 seconds.
It's immune to my attacks.
Of course, it's immune to your attacks. That's why you gotta pick up asteroids. Just kill everything around it, pick up asteroids, and shoot it to death.
Like, go down to the asteroids that don't have special
Yeah. I know.
technical terms, bombing things.
Bombing things. That's on this being technical. Asteroid crystals. That's a rock. I got 2 of them.
So
3 of them.
Jason says yes.
How come I can't grab them? Just have them.
I had that problem in the first, and the other one. No tractor, one tractor.
Okay. That's weird. I'm less than a kilometer away and I can't pick them up.
You have 3 already?
I don't have any.
I don't know.
I was doing that to me in the last one. Let me pick up some of
The invasion is over.
That was
We
really
bought ourselves
challenging.
some time, but we'll need to
Tremendous.
attack.
Oh, I just figured we'd complete the whole thing. We did everything else.
We did it. The invasion is over. We bought ourselves some.
I'll let me leave the map. Annoying. I don't leave the map during combat, apparently.
Pi, this is the universal for today and tomorrow. It is the Gamma Quadrant. Do the 3, whatever the heck
Yeah,
projects there.
the final one does not count as any of the 3,
Right,
but
do you get-
like I said, we did everything else. Might as well just
We
reap
did
the
it.
reward.
He's playing almost as much.
We
And
might as well reap.
nothing's
might as well
coming
reap the
great
reward.
out of it. Well, what shall we do?
Oh, I'm going to jump back
The
to
same
sort
thing we
of.
do everything night. Mom, try to take over the world.
Sorry about that, Pi. I misunderstood what you were asking about the endeavors.
Additional resources.
So aside from taking over the world, does anyone have a need to do anything or want to do anything in particular?
Just want to hang out with Mom. She's the cool one.
I'm just
You were not
going
worthy
to
of
tidy up
hanging
my
out with
inventory,
Mom.
I think.
Okay.
Then I'll drop off.
Frost, you want to do some patrols or something? I've been leveling up some ships.
Well, it's up to you, Mom. I'm not really interested in doing anything for myself today.
Okay.
So whatever you need, I'm happy to help out.
DT, you got anything you need to do?
All my ships are leveled up. I just gotta go transfer some money over to my Klingon so she can get her DPRM.
Okay, well, why don't you do that? Frost, are you on a Federation tune?
Yeah, I'm still on them.
Okay, well, let me jump over to one and we can go do a couple of patrols and I can finish leveling up these ships.
Okay.
Technically, and you still need to get 2. One at a time. One at a time.
But yeah, I'm not getting credit for completing the skirmishes in the Gamma Quadrant, and I don't know
The
why.
final assault doesn't count as a skirmish.
No,
Yep.
I know. I was on here earlier and I did the skirmishes, and it didn't give me credit for them.
Yeah, and things like that, if you can report them to the GM, it helps them track it down because it can be a system problem. And they don't usually get a lot of information back from us, even when they ask for it, which makes it really hard.
I can sympathise with that.
Well, the next time that I run one and I don't get anything in return, I'll let somebody know.
Mm-hmm. So second. Let me grab a different tune there.
But for all I know, they could have fixed it by now.
I've been running this tune on the Kittimer ship for months.
It's not a bad ship.
It's a great ship, but you know, if it's the only one you're running, you don't level up anything else.
Yeah.
Let's see what I've got here.
Is Kethka?
Yes. We gotta go see what she hasn't done, the Syrinx. Ooh, I've never leveled the Morigu on this one. Holy moly.
Oh, for shame.
I know.
But anyone
like to level?
Hold on just a second.
The disruptors you've got at the front?
I've got spiral disruptors up front.
So that'll be a right left to level that. You've got decent equipment by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 runs at the most. I'm not...
I find for leveling ships up to max, if you do... There's a specific patrol that... the 9th rule.
Yes, 9th rule usually will do it on its own if you run it as advanced or elite, but you don't take too big of a team with you.
Well, there's an interesting way to do quite a significant amount of damage towards the end of it, which really helps with it.
Which is?
Where all the ships kind of like zoom in from the right is work out when the first group arrives where they kind of roughly stop from warping in, drop about 5 kilometers back so you're behind them, and then you can literally just sit there, take pot shots at them, and you just keep getting flanking damage. So if you've got some half-decent weapons, you can just tear through like 90% of them on the first volley.
Nice.
So it's also really handy for picking up the drops as well, because you just see like 100 of the little drops just in one small area.
Today turned into a great day.
Oh?
When we started the stream, I checked the DPRM. It was like 25 million for a Klingon one.
That's not
Good
bad.
price. But I just picked one up for 17.
That's an even better one.
Yep.
Hey, at 25 million, that's still a good offer, Sunshine.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to run 9th rule with me and Mom?
You running it on Fed, guys?
Yep.
Unfed, yes. And I'm running Kiseki, so it really won't be that exciting.
Give me a moment, I'll switch back over and I will I'll go on a Fed with you guys.
I was going to say yes, but I would be willing to bet that the killing of the ships will probably be more of a benefit to Mom for leveling than it will to be funny for me.
I mean,
well, she gets credit. It doesn't matter who kills them.
But she still got the experience anyway?
Yeah. She gets the experience anyway. And I know that that's the case because they've helped me out several times when I've killed nothing.
Go on then, you've persuaded me. I'll quickly do it before I log off.
Okay, swear I'm not wasted. Are you talking Federation or Klingon ships to buy in the exchange?
What? Hey, what?
Swear I'm not wasted is looking to buy another Federation ship. I don't know what you've got.
So I think the optimum for what Mom is trying to do is 3 ships, not 5.
Yeah.
So he's got the 3 ships.
Okay.
All right, the 2-piece, the DPRM and the point defense bombardment warhead are now on my Bajoran interceptor on my Klingon.
Well, congratulations.
Them 2 plus Domino, you're set.
Oh, yeah, it's a Bajoran interceptor. I have Domino.
Always good.
Yep. All right, now...
I'm very jealous of that.
Are we inviting you, DT?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which... I'm going to bring out the Galaxy. We're bringing out the Andorian.
Okay, so I'm not wasted says, I'm looking to buy a lockbox ship. So far, I only have the Kelvin Dreadnought. I want another big ship.
If he doesn't have the Atlas, tell him to see if he can get that.
Which character do you want as right now? DT, which one do you want as?
I'm on a Zavala.
Are we warping in?
DT's going to join us. So as soon as DT joins us, then yes, we can warp in.
Okay, he joined us.
Okay. So 9th rule?
Yep.
Okay.
Warping in.
Another big ship, so not the Gagarin. how big of a ship.
Garen
Like,
is a sea
I'm launching
store
right now.
anyway, so he couldn't
If
do
it's a
that.
lockbox ship that he
Looks like there was a
wants,
fight.
and he doesn't have it, then the only option is to get the Atlas.
Sorry.
To assist you.
It depends. If he's not fed, then he can't get the Atlas yet.
Lead the way.
he's fed.
Sure God will follow.
He's fed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just ran
Atlas.
with us.
Reading a single Ferengi
Yep,
vessel.
you want the
Honor
Atlas.
class.
I
Safety
thought
cloak.
that
Oh, are we running yet, or are we?
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in.
I'll be under cloak.
He actually hired the Fakiri? He's either the bravest Ferengi ever or the craziest.
Okay, what do you not like about the Garen, so that helps us figure out what you like?
He just doesn't like good ships, clearly.
Garen's one of the best ships in the game.
Yeah, but doesn't mean he likes it. I mean, that's the reason there's 500 some ships in the game. Somebody likes something.
What about the Miracle Worker flight deck cruiser?
That's an R&D ship. He's never going to be able to afford that.
What
That's
about the Jem'Hadar ships, or the Cardassian ships, are those only from...
sea store, yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's good news.
Hold on,
and
there's an obvious
bad
one we're
news.
missing here. So his requirements is it's Federation and it's a big ship, yeah?
Yes, that's the information we've got. He has all the gem ships.
So the only correct answer then is the Universe class. Yeah.
It's another R&D ship. He's never going to get...
Oh,
Green diplomacy at its finest.
Yeah, the Miracle Worker flight deck carries an R&D ship. He's never...
You get it in the exchange, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll bother you, see.
If you got a couple... Yeah, if you got a couple billion credits, you can get it in the exchange.
Yeah, inflation's a thing.
I have a tunic worn by the Birmingham is ready for action. Mint condition, no rips.
Just walk away, and there will be an end to the moment. Walk away, God you can.
What does the Atlas come up under on the exchange?
BOS.
Type Dreadnought.
Yeah, BOS Dreadnought.
Yeah, 'cause there's a prototype Dreadnought cruiser.
If that.
I just did not like it.
No, I know.
Last time I died in this one.
Yeah, I just died, I know. It's the first time in a while.
This is on Elite, that's why.
Yeah.
I was wondering why things weren't as squishy as usual.
Even for green.
And I'm just sitting here tanking away.
Cheapest is 900 mil at the moment for a 2S Dreadnought. Nothing pricey.
Something weird was going on. Like it had me 10-minute cooldown on my miraculous repair. It's really strange. And I just blew up again. Didn't take any damage, just blew up.
Core explosions are a thing.
see what that did.
I did 70,000 Tetrion damage in this. I don't have any Tetrion weapons equipped.
Gotta have
You
something.
get bonuses if you hit.
Oh, it only went to 3.5, so having 5 people at Elite probably didn't do me as much as it could have.
Yeah, 1 or 2 people only.
Doesn't matter. It's still too much fun to go on an Elite with a bunch of cool folks. It is, after all, about the fun. Or it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what I got here.
Actually, I feel like I should make another ship killer build on for the Andorian instead of just being tanky.
Or would anyone like to team for one more patrol?
We're still there, so just hit.
What's the team? Just tell us which one you want to
We
do.
have room for one more there.
Yeah, invite me if there's room. Yeah, I'll go.
I'll drop out because I want to finish organising my inventory before I drop off.
Okay. Well, thanks for being here. It was fun to play.
I'll still be talking for a few more minutes. I just won't be doing the patrol.
Awesome. Well, alrighty. And I will go ahead. Let's queue up for.
Just do wanted. Just get it over.
Yeah, wanted would be good.
So launching blunt wanted now.
Wanted. Everyone ready?
Yep, launching.
Wanted. I almost finished the Delta Quadrant today. Oh, sorry, Delta Rising.
I was going to say, with that description, you're better than Janeway and quicker.
Well,
It took 7 years to do that.
I still have to do Dust to Dust, which is not the one you want to do here again.
Did I need to just join it myself, do?
Yes,
Well,
yeah, for all patrols you can hit wanted and bring it in.
Won't you die?
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Have they closed the Trafford Centre?
Yes, but only essential shops are open in there, and there's about 4. You've got Smiths, Rick Smith, Super Drugs.
Oh no, I didn't mean for lockdown. I heard that the place had gone into administration.
Oh, it had, yeah, but hang on. I'm just asking my girlfriend anymore. Canadian Pension Fund companies bought it. It was still open. It went into administration about 6 months ago, but it was still open over the summer. And my girlfriend just said some company bought it. Yeah.
Okay, so for everyone else's reference, if they're wondering what the hell we're on about, the Trafford Centre is a rather large shopping mall on the edge of Manchester. I think it's like the third biggest in Europe. It's absolutely massive.
Yeah, it is. I think it was the biggest in Europe for about a couple of weeks, and then coincidentally one in Belgium opened a couple of weeks after. But yeah, it's massive. I used to work in there.
When I lived in Vegas, there's a fashion show mall.
Yep.
And anybody who's ever been to a mall, it pales in comparison to that place. It goes underneath 8 casinos.
We were there.
And it stretches almost 3 miles.
I remember one of the hotels had a massive mall in there. I can't remember which hotel it was. I was on about.
Well, if you've been to Vegas, it's probably the fashion show mall.
Right. It had a lot of marble and things.
Caesars.
Yeah.
Caesars, there's Bellagio, MGM, and all those owned by the same company.
Is that the ride that's on top of the building still there?
No, that's New York.
And yes,
It is still there, as obnoxious as ever.
I've never been to Vegas, but I've always found over here some of the malls I've either been really awful. Like the Mall of Georgia is really bad. But I've also been Mall of America, and other than the fact of going, there's a roller coaster in the middle of it, I didn't really find it that good, because there were like shops there that wouldn't exist anywhere else.
Right.
Like there's a shop there, there's like ones that like all it does is like socks or whatever, and just like anywhere else that would not get the foot traffic to even stay open.
It's like in the Trafford Centre though, there's the pen store.
Yeah, it's insane. But in all fairness, if you go in Mall of America, it's pretty much the only thing to do in Minnesota, because the place is so damn cold that you want to stay indoors anyway.
We were there for a play in April, and we arrived at 60 degrees. And since it was a nice play, we brought an evening dress. By the time we realized it was dinner time, the temperature dropped to 14 degrees. And all of a sudden, the evening dress isn't going to cut it, so we had to get some all my clothes warm enough to wear out.
I can believe that. So Mark, just for your reference, 14 Fahrenheit is below freezing.
Yeah. It gets cold here in England, but I went to Prague 4 or 5 years ago and that was even colder. And I met up with some people from Finland and they were in t-shirts because it gets to like -20, -30 over there.
I think the two worst times that I've ever had it for cold was, there was one time when I was flying into Minneapolis from Atlanta, so going from somewhere really hot to really cold, but there's a magic temperature where Fahrenheit and Celsius meet with each other, and it's -36.
-40 Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Yeah. So it was so cold that the actual the LCD displays in the car just refused to update.
Yeah.
And like my hands were going blue because I only had like a light jacket with me, and then I think it was actually this January I had some of my colleagues meet me in Minnesota, and we were there over the weekend, and we decided to drive up to Duluth. And it was so unbelievably cold. Like we decided to park the car and we walked to a brewery that's like a block away, and we must have got about half a block, and it was so cold that our ears were like stinging and like painful. I'm like, oh my god, why do people live here?
My husband lived there for a long time, 2 years ago when he started, and he's like, let's go back there. No.
It's actually interesting to mention that. I was telling, everybody, I told DT several times we were planning on moving to Preston, Arizona, which can get kind of cold in the middle of the night, but it's really not that bad compared to most other places in the country. But I wanted to move back to upstate New York, because that's really where I grew up. I wanted to do all those. I wanted to get back to what I used to do. And the day that I mentioned it, it was prophetic. It reached -8 degrees Fahrenheit. And my wife told me a rather emphatic no at that point. So that was really the selling point. And then we were living in a place called Easton, Pennsylvania at the time, which is about 15 minutes from the New Jersey border. About an hour north of Philadelphia. And it had hit, I think it was 0 Fahrenheit. And it stayed that way for 4 days. So as you can imagine, my wife was not crazy for cold weather.
Yeah, I don't. I realize it's not year round. Minnesota can get really cold for a long time.
Yeah, I don't get Minnesotans because they're always really proud to roll out the statistics of just going, yeah, we've got the highest number of people migrating because of the quality of life and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, why? There is nothing here. It's flat. You've got nothing other than the cold and a mall. There's otherwise nothing here, and the cost of living is comparatively high. Like all of my colleagues, I say 90% of my colleagues, because of where our office is, it's on the edge of St. Paul towards Oakdale. it's like a 10-minute drive to the Wisconsin border. So most of my colleagues actually live just over the border in Wisconsin because it's dramatically cheaper. But even Wisconsin's perfectly flat and there's nothing there. So why are people moving to this place? It's horrible. At least with Florida, you can understand it. You can just go, well, you've got the weather and the beaches. There's nothing there. Why are people moving to the frozen tundra?
I'm sorry. What can you look positively at in Florida? I live here and I don't see anything.
Warmer than Minnesota?
Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, sure, there's that, but I mean, you don't have crazy people stealing the lectern from House of Representatives. I don't think they're going to get on the plane.
No, in Arizona, you got people who dress in a crazy buffalo head and body paint.
Oh, I thought that was like your state uniform.
I mean, in all fairness, if you want like a perfect example of the average nutcase in any given state, just go to a reasonably populated area, I've learned, and go to Walmart. And they're just people watch for 10 minutes. That'll give you your flavour of the area.
Yes.
That'll make you feel a lot better about yourself.
Yeah, suddenly when that happens, nothing really seems quite as depressing anymore when you go in.
But yeah.
Truer words have rarely been spoken.
You mentioned populated areas. Like, that is Florida, the entire state. You're never more than an hour away from some major city.
That's the thing that I find funny as well. It's like every time you see like the news pop up on your phone or whatever, it just goes like, really weird situation, like guy decided to wrestle a crocodile, or guy managed to, I don't know, flip his car. Basically, all of like the really stupid news. You can guarantee 90% of the time that somewhere in the headline will be Florida.
Well, actually, there's a game that you can play, which is you type into Google "man in Florida" and your birth date, and it'll come up with what some person in Florida did on your birthday, and there's one for every day.
Yep, I can believe that.
Yep.
I've done it for a minute.
Oh, man in Florida. I'm not going to say my birthday because it's a well-known secret. Let's have a look. There we go. First one that comes up. Florida man arrested for having sex with a miniature horse on multiple occasions. The second one. Florida man commits murder over an imaginary girlfriend.
Oh my god.
And then the third one is Florida man arrested for attacking mom with this breakfast food.
Yeah, see, Florida's a great place.
Well, I'm glad you think that. I barricade myself in my house sometimes.
One thing that always got me was the humidity. It's so exhausting.
Well, I mean, that's
for that. Oh my god.
Really?
That's an interesting thing about Florida.
Online, Florida man shoved woman to get at her egg rolls.
Did you, Mom, did you say New Orleans was worse?
Yeah, for humidity, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've been there once in the middle of summer, and you're in a hotel, and you're just gone out the shower, you're clean, you're not sweaty, you're dry, you're feeling good. You go outside, and it's like swimming.
Yeah.
Within about 3 meters, you're drenched in sweat.
Yep.
It's horrific. It's not hot, it's just so humid.
I had to be at a sales presentation, and there's no way to do that. We had an hour between 2 hours from when the flight landed till our presentation, and my sales manager said, "Let's go walk around, in the French Quarter." Ugh, it was horrible.
So I've come to the conclusion when it comes to the South that New Orleans is the most humid place I've been. Dallas has been technically the hottest, but it's a dry hot.
Yes.
And Atlanta is somewhere in between. It's both hot and humid, but not as hot as Dallas and not as humid as New Orleans.
I'd say Vegas was probably 20, 30 degrees hotter, but it's much more tolerable because it's just like dry, isn't it? Dry.
Well, that's the thing that's quite funny, and I always find this when I'm because our see the rest of you.
Sorry,
the rest. No. The rest of you probably just go, no idea. Is that a real place name? Our office, Mark, is in Cheadle-Hulme, our Manchester office.
All right.
So every time I go back, and it's like, say, 15, 16 degrees Celsius, everyone obviously in Manchester and the UK are just like, short sleeves, full shebang. I'm actually cold because I've acclimatized to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, your comment like on Vegas, where you're just like, oh, it's 30 degrees. That's a cool day in Atlanta, 30 degrees. Because you acclimatize, it's insane.
Well, bear in mind the numbers can muck you up too. My friend was up from Sydney, and we were staying in Brooklyn, and from the apartment we had, you could see the temperature on the bank. And she goes, "Oh, it's 9 degrees. That's fine." And she's getting ready to go out, and finally said, "Catherine, 9 Fahrenheit, not 9 Celsius." Oh, I'm just staying in all day. I'm not going out. I didn't blame her. It was nasty. Nasty, nasty. But I am also going to log off, folks. I've got a crap ton of stuff to do before tomorrow morning. I want to thank everyone who joined us.
I'm looking at my birth date in
Yes.
Florida, and they're all pretty depressing, so I don't really
well,
want
that's part of the game. It's oh my god, I can't believe it's that bad.
It's pretty bad. Some of these are horrible.
Yeah, some are horrible. All right, everyone, have a great night, and we will talk to you later.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.